I am here back at the Sororica Hotel. I've been having a great time and we're live again. It's a bit hot because the sun is shining. Let me show you the sun. But best places to travel as a solo traveler, as a digital nomad, I'm going to tell you the best places that you can travel all over South America. And I'm going to start with Brazil. I will tell you it's a bit loud, so I apologize for the noise in the background. I might move, I might walk a little bit, but there's a lawnmower over there. There's construction behind me, and there's people walking around. But it's okay. It's all right. We'll get through the live anyway. Um, all right. So best places to travel, South America. So first of all, last weekend I went to the Amazon rainforest for 4 days. I did a hike through the Amazon rainforest. Crazy. There was spiders. There were snakes. There was a jaguar that we didn't see, but we saw the footprints in the ground. What else was there? There was a pineapple mountain that we went to. So it was a mountain made of stone that grew pineapples, which is absolutely crazy. What else do we do on that? What we saw parrots, obviously. But yeah, it was very intense of a journey because the animals there, some of those animals I've never seen before. No, obviously we saw what I didn't see, but the other tour group they saw alligators and crocodiles and stuff. I didn't really want to see that because I guess you can say I'm kind of shy, whatever. Uh, but I wasn't feeling so adventurous to go and see crocodiles in the middle of the night. But they did have a bunch of other animals that were really cool. There was one animal. There was one animal that it was sort of a worm that was responsive to sound, and that was pretty cool. Now, the worm was on the tree, and if you clap or if you snap your fingers, then the worm would wiggle or it would move or something. And I have a video of that on my Instagram, but that was a pretty cool thing. So yeah, best places to travel in South America. I'd say one of those that's underrated. If you're going to want to go to the Amazon, you should probably go to Suriname or even Guyana, because the Brazil Amazon rainforest, one, it's not really as accessible as it is in Suriname because you got to travel. And Brazil is so big, they make it really hard. But the main tourist attraction in Suriname is the Amazon rainforest. So then most of the tours are going into the Amazon rainforest. So it makes it super easy. But Brazil, it was a lot harder to do it, right? Um, yeah. So you can think about it that way. It would be a similar thing in Guyana, right? Most of the attractions are going into the Amazon rainforest. So that makes it really easy to just go and do that. And then you give you entire experience because they have these tours that are going pretty much every week. Separate from that though, traveling South America has been really fun. And as you can imagine, South America has some of the best people in the world. Spanish and Portuguese. I've been brushing up on that. In Suriname, they speak Dutch, so it's a little bit harder. But nonetheless, the good thing about Suriname is that they speak English. So I've been able to speak English while being here. So okay, so if you're coming in, tell me where you're watching from. Usually we have people from all over the world, so I always like to hear where you guys are watching from. As I said, I've been traveling, and so I've probably traveled to where you are, and maybe I'll meet you one day. That'd be pretty cool. Sometimes we have people in here from Egypt, from Australia, from Uganda, from US, obviously, from Canada, from England, all over the world, France even. People come in here and they're not even speaking English in the chat, which is awesome. But when you're coming in, please tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from so that I know where people are from. And honestly, I do want to learn about your culture. So I also going to ask you questions if you tell me a new country that I haven't heard of before. So where are you watching from, people? Tell me where you're watching from. I just finished the gym. I go every day. I'm retired. I'm not even 30 yet. And so every day my routine is that I wake up, I have coffee, then I go to the gym, then I go to the pool, and I go live. So I just came from the gym. I haven't gone to the pool yet. I'm going to the pool after the live, so I'm doing it in crisscross order right now. But I'm live every single weekday, and I've been live every single weekday since February because we've been growing this channel together. So where are you watching from? Tell me where you're watching from. Let's connect. Let's connect. Where are you watching from, people? We are live. Where are you watching from? Yesterday we went live for one whole hour, which was intense. But the conversation was great because we talked about money. Today we're talking about something a little bit differently. We're talking about traveling. We're talking about being a digital nomad. Might even talk about dating a little bit. But tell me where you're watching from. If you're a guy in here, especially, I want to talk to you. So tell me where you're watching from. Seattle. Oh shoot. So, all right. So Seattle, Washington. So here's the thing about Seattle. Seattle, it rains a lot, right? Seattle almost reminds me of the same type of city structure as Boston, right? They're similar in terms of the city style, but I feel like in Seattle it rains a lot more than in Boston. But Seattle is a really cool place. The coolest part I think about the entire state of Washington would be Seattle, but it's quite far from most things, right? I mean, you have obviously you have Malibu, which is it's a short drive up to Seattle, but it's quite far from what most people would think of in America. Like if you land in New York or you land in Miami or you land in LA, it's quite a drive to get to Seattle. And then there's nothing next to Seattle, right? The next state over, I forget what that is, but it's not really a visiting state for a lot of people. It's not really on their bucket list. It might be on yours, but for most people it isn't, right? So in any case, I love Seattle. I'm glad that you're watching from Seattle. I think you're the first person that's watching from the state of Washington. So welcome in, Hiram. It's good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I'd love I love to hear what you consider to be the best food out of Seattle. Because I tried some food, but I must be honest, Seattle wasn't my favorite. Not actually the entire state of Washington wasn't my favorite for food. I don't think it's known for food. Architecture really great, but I don't think it's the best place. Minecraft level, how you doing? How you doing, Minecraft level? I'm guessing that you play Minecraft. I'm gonna guess. Yesterday we went live for an hour and the chat was buzzing, so we gotta top that. I'm not saying that we need to go live for an hour, but I want to see the chat buzzing because yesterday was really popping. You guys asked a really good question. You guys asked me, and when you guys get live, when you guys give me energy, then I get energy and I get excited. And when I get excited, you guys get excited, and that makes this live a lot more fun to do. I'm gonna be here every day, weekday. I've been going live every day since February, so I'm gonna be here regardless. But when you guys are here and you're giving energy, it makes it so much more fun. So much more fun. As I said, just this weekend, I was at the Amazon. I was at the Amazon, and in the middle of the Amazon, I was thinking, man, I should go live. And you know what? I did. Last week, Friday, I went live from the Amazon rainforest, and I think that's a pretty cool place to go live from because they actually had service, and I didn't think that they would have service in the middle of the Amazon jungle, but they did. So I went live, and you can check it out on the story. So the next place I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go back into the Amazon one more time before I leave Suriname, and I'm going to go live again. And I think that would be pretty cool, right? This is like bucket list stuff, you know? Okay, got you. They're having a class over there, so I gotta speak a bit quiet. I gotta speak a bit more quiet. I'm showing the class. They're having a yoga class. They're doing good. Yeah. There's a lot of good food trucks with Mexican food, Puerto Rican food. My favorite. Okay, okay, cool. Mm, food truck. You know who? You know where has a good food truck culture? New York. New York has a really good food truck culture, and surprisingly, Atlanta also has a really good food truck culture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those two places, really good. Really good two places. Please come and tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from. There's a lot of people who think that this is green screens. So then I like to move around to show people that this is not green screen. There's a lot of people who can fake their green screen activities from their mom's basement. You know those guys. They're in their mom's basement and they're posting and they're trying to teach you how to get rich. They're trying to floss their life. Like, look at this house, look at this, whatever. And they're in their mom's basement. They don't know anything about life. They haven't been anywhere. So I'm not trying to teach you how to rate rich, at least not today, because unless you guys want to ask that kind of question, what I want to do is that I'm actually on a mission with this YouTube thing, which is that I want to use the money from YouTube to fund more scholarships. Right now, I have two scholarships sending kids from Jamaica to college. And with your help, if YouTube starts making money, because it doesn't right now, because I'm paying for those two scholarships out of my pocket, if those two scholarships start making money, then I'll use, if YouTube starts making money, then I'll use all that money to increase what we can do in terms of sending people to college. So with your help, we can do that. It's a really good cause, I think. And I'm already traveling. I'm already tired. I'm already living my dream life. So it's not for me, but it's to help those kids. And that'd be really pretty cool. I'm stumbling over my words a little bit because I'm a bit tired. Maybe I should get some water. I don't have my water bottle out here. Don't have my water out here. I only have my glasses. Can you come and tell me where you're watching from, please? So I can see where you guys are watching from. So I can get some accurate numbers in this place. All right, I'm gonna sit back down. All right, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from so that we can chat. We can have a good chat. Eh, Adjust that camera a little bit. All right, there we go. Tell me where you're watching from so that we can have a good chat. I love to know where you guys are watching from. Honestly, when you guys come in and you guys tell me you are watching from Switzerland or from Greece, we had somebody from Greece in here. When you guys come in and tell me that you're watching from just all over the world, I think that's pretty cool. Just imagine 40 years ago, for me to meet somebody from Switzerland, I would have to either travel around my hometown and just hope one day I do, or I'd have to travel to Switzerland to meet somebody, or go to college because more than likely I'd meet someone from Switzerland at college. But here, I can just turn on my phone and meet people from all across the world. I don't know where you're watching from, but more than likely, you are more than 1,000 miles away from me right now. Don't you think that's pretty cool? That's the technology that we have in our hands. It's never been an easier time to connect with people in anywhere in the world. Never been an easier time. This is what makes this really cool. But anyway, I've been going live every day for the past 3 months, connecting with you guys, learning about you guys. Please tell me where you're watching from as you're coming in. Don't just be silent because that makes the live boring. Don't be silent. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from as you're coming in, please. Ooh, look at these guns. Ooh, ooh. I just came from the gym, so pardon me while I flex. Pardon me. Excuse me. I'm stupid. Oh, I got caught. I got caught when I was in the jungle. There's a waterfall, right, where you have to cross the waterfall, and the water current is so strong that if you lift your foot up the wrong way, then you can actually be washed away, and that makes it harder. The slower you go, the harder it is to stay balanced. And we were crawling pretty much, trying to go as slow as possible because we were scared. But the guys who were good were going fast. That's actually a smarter way to go about crossing the river. I didn't know that, but they do because they live there. So then they're sprinting across. That's actually easier than walking. You think about that. Think about that. We're looking at them like, wow, that's pretty cool that you can sprint across the water. The opposite. They're actually just doing it the easy way. What we're doing is actually harder, but we don't know it. All right, so I'm not seeing a lot of people in the live. Not many questions coming in. Please tell me where you're watching from. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to end this live early because I want to get on, get my lunch, get to the pool, you know, get my groove on by the pool. You know what I'm saying? I'm really hot. So jumping into the pool right now would just be fantastic. If you guys are not gonna ask any more questions. All right. Seeing many questions come in. So we're gonna call it in, people, and I'll see you tomorrow for another live. If somebody has a question, I'll call it in. Peace out, guys. Sometimes it's like that. It's fine. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.